yesterday, Tom Tancredo said, this La Raza that she's part of, you know what it means? He said on CNN, it means all for the race. He says this is their motto. All for the race, nothing for the rest. Wow, that sounds pretty harsh, right? And I remember when we did it on the show yesterday, I said, I bet that's not true. And now he's going to make me go look it up, and I did. And La Raza's actual motto is this very controversial statement: strengthening America by promoting the advancement of Latino families. Wow. Again, flat out made it up. This whole thing about all for the race and nothing for the rest, not their motto, not even close. So that's how they roll. Which brings us to the unfortunate and ridiculous story of Marcus Epstein. Now, Marcus Epstein was on the Young Turks, and we tried to have a racial dialogue with him. I guess we're naive. And I thought, hey, you know what? Let's bring on liberals. Let's bring on conservatives. Let's have the racial dialogue that our Attorney General Eric Holder said we should have. And so we brought him on. And after talking to him for a while, he finally said what he'd been dying to say all along, which is, wherever black people go all throughout the world, they commit more crime than anyone else. And I asked Marcus, I said, Marcus, do you have any facts to back that up? Because that seems like an interesting thing to put out there, right? And he said, well, I don't have it in front of me, but I'll email you. Let me fill you in now. He never emailed us, shockingly enough, because he made it up. There is no such fact. And he kept going on and on after that to claim that, you know what, blacks are different than whites, and intimated in several ways, I thought, that they were inferior, more prone to more violence, not as smart, etc., right? Well, apparently he's taken his hate to a different level, because he got arrested for attacking an African-American woman in the street. Now, that sounds pretty bad and pretty ridiculous already. Wait till you get a load of the police report. July 7, 2007, at approximately 17:15 p.m. at Jefferson and M Street in Washington, D.C., defendant Marcus Epstein was walking down the street when he encountered the complainant. I'm going to leave her name out, but the police report explains that she's African-American. Now, we're all going to be adults here, and I'm going to tell you the language he actually used according to the police report. Okay? So this is a quote. The defendant uttered, "nigger," as he delivered a karate chop to the complainant's head. First of all, the police report, karate chop? Okay, I guess that's what he did. But, I mean, this, you want to talk about unhinged. You want to talk about racist. I can't believe he shouted that. And who karate chops a woman in the middle of the street? And who used a karate chop, period? What kind of unbelievable clown is this guy? And, again, the police report says that she actually, since he's such a clown, and his karate chop didn't work, she attempted to detain the defendant. Okay? She's probably holding him by the scruff and trying to hold on to him, but the defendant was able to escape. Ultimately, the defendant was stopped and arrested by Secret Service officers, and now he is going to plead guilty to verbally and physically assaulting this woman and will be sentenced in July. Man, you see, it's worse than I thought. And again, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt as much as possible, and I think you have conversations with these people, you never know, have an open mind. They may not necessarily coming from a bad place with bad intent. But this guy is such a clown that when he sees a black woman in the street, he karate chops her, let alone the comment that he made to her. It's... Who does that? I'm just so blown away by it. I'm not sure I have commentary for it. Now, Jared Jackson, are we... I mean, I don't know what to make of it. Like, should we never have had him on the show? Is it good to have him on the show and to expose the idiocy that he believes? I mean, what do you do with these guys?
Yeah, 100%. It is good to have him on the show. We have to. We don't have to, but I mean, it kind of provides a window into his mind. And at first, we didn't know that. We didn't know anything about the guy. It's not like we had full background or how he grew up or exactly details of what he's been fed his whole life. But we got it once he was telling us some of it. So then once we get that, we're like, oh, you know what this guy's about. But the violence part, I mean, God, I was expecting the next point to be in, and she whooped his ass.
Well, she tried to detain him, which means that she had the upper hand. I mean, it's not like he's beating her down. This moron. I mean, I don't know. He looks 4'8". I don't know. He looks like Tattoo, right, from Fantasy Island. You know, the plane. He comes in and tries to karate chop you. I mean, how stupid are you? I mean, I can't get over that.
I wish there were more details. You know, he just stumbled out of a bar. She stepped on his new Nikes. I don't know. You know, I would just love to know what the full story was.
But you get a sense of how much hate that they've got brewing up in there. That it's like literally bursting out. That when he can't contain himself and he's got to karate chop random women across the street. By the way, tough guy. You want to try that against a guy? See how that works out for you? So the one person you picked on was a lady. I don't know if she was, what age she was, how big or small she was. But obviously, you couldn't even come close to doing damage to her, even though you tried. God, how pathetic is this guy? Now, why did I bring him up? Well, as we know, since we interviewed him, Marcus Epstein is actually he is the executive director, in fact, of Tom Tancredo's anti-immigrant Team America PAC. So Tom Tancredo, who is going around saying that Sonia Sotomayor is the Latino KKK equivalent, has as the executive director of his PAC this guy who goes around karate chopping African-American women and yelling out racial epithets in the middle of the street. And by the way, that incident happened in July of 2007, and he's still the executive director. Now, that's the part that's absolutely shocking and unacceptable. And Tom Tancredo has the nerve to go on television talking about how anyone's racist. Please.